If you've ever attempted to lose belly fat, you know how frustrating and impossible it can seem. You're putting in the work, you're making healthier choices with your diet, you're going to the gym, and you might even be losing fat on other areas of your body like your back, your legs, or your arms, but no matter how hard you work or what you do, you can't get rid of that stubborn fat that sits around your waist, hiding your abs. As time goes by, most people grow more frustrated, and this is where you end up even giving up or reverting back to old ways, or you try and follow a more extreme plan, potentially adding in lots of cardio or dropping your calories very low in an attempt to see progress. The problem is this approach isn't sustainable, and soon you're back at square one. In this video, I'm going to share with you the most important information on why you can't lose your belly fat, including why the fat around your waist can feel so stubborn, what it is you're doing now that's actually stopping you from seeing results, and also the best plan to follow to be able to see your abs. These methods are all tried and tested both by myself and my clients, and if you follow what I show you in this video, I guarantee you that the results that you want are possible. Make sure to stick around to the end of this video where I'll be showing you the top tactics that my clients use once they've achieved a photo shoot Beachbody ready physique and how to maintain that all year round. Before I talk about some of the mistakes that you are likely making, let's talk about why you're losing fat in other areas of your body but not that stubborn fat around your belly. As frustrating as it is, unfortunately we cannot pick and choose where we lose body fat from first. Even by adding in more exercises like crunches, leg raises, sit-ups and so on, you are not more likely to see your abs any faster. The reason for this is each and every one of us are genetically predisposed to lose body fat from different areas of our body at a different rate. That might mean that for me, it will come off my back first. It might mean that for you, it will come off your legs and your face, and for someone else, their arms. A lot of the time, the reason where it comes off of the last is the area that bugs us the most, our belly. And the reason for that is we hold in this area what's called visceral fat. This is a fat that sits deep around your abdominal cavity, and its role is to provide a layer of cushioning and protection for our internal organs, as well as storing energy and providing hormonal responses. That can naturally mean that even when you've lost body fat from other areas of your body, it can take that extra bit of time to get it off your belly and to be able to see your abs for the first time. Now we understand why it can take longer, let's look at some of the common mistakes that I see that you are likely making that are stopping you from getting rid of the fat that you want to lose. Mistake number one is that given the information we've just discussed, you're not giving the process enough time and you're throwing in the towel even though you're on the right track. Depending on how much body fat you had when you started, it can take a long time to get to a place where you can visibly see your abs. The chances are your timelines in your head are unrealistic, and because of that, you're sabotaging your own progress by coming off of the accelerator at the very point that that consistency and the hard work you've been putting in are more important than ever. Mistake number two is that you are not actually in a calorie deficit. If your goal is to lose fat, no matter where it is on your body, you need to be in a deficit where your weight is steadily coming down on the scales each week. Regardless of what body weight you are, if you have body fat around your belly, the only way to get rid of it is by getting into that deficit. A common judgment error people make is they think that because they're not necessarily overweight, that they shouldn't have to see the number on the scale come down even more than perhaps it already has. But the reality is, if there's more fat to lose, there's more weight to lose, and there's no getting around it. The other way people get this wrong is they don't actually pay attention to the amount of calories they're consuming and instead just focus on making healthy choices. The problem with this approach is that you can absolutely eat healthy foods and still consume an amount of calories that will not be conducive with losing fat. When your goal is focused on aesthetics and the way that your body looks, I can't overstate how important it is that you have to be accurate with your consumption and not just rely on what you perceive to be good choices. Now we know what might be holding you back, let's talk about the 3 key elements that you need to have in place to start losing that stubborn fat around your belly. The first thing you want to do is set yourself up with a steps goal. I'd recommend a minimum target of 10,000 per day. However, ideally, we would want to push this to 12K. The more steps we're doing, the more calories we'll be burning throughout the week. And this is going to push us further into that calorie deficit that we need to be in to be losing fat. I'd aim to split my steps up evenly throughout the course of the day if possible, getting out in the morning, at lunch, and sometime in the afternoon or evening so that you're not left with a big chunk of steps to do all at once. We then want to put together a program focused around weights training a minimum of 3 to 4 times per week. You could either follow a full body or an upper lower workout split, and if you're looking for guidance on how to structure these workouts and the best exercises to pick to maximize your progress, I've included in the description a link that you can use to download a workout plan with video demonstrations and an exercise list so you can tailor your plan specifically to the equipment that you have available at your gym. Once you've got your workout plan, the most important thing I want you to focus on is actually ensuring that your sessions are progressive. What I mean by that is making sure that every single workout you're aiming to either increase the number of reps you did with the same weight, or you're looking to lift a little bit more weight than the time before. Doing this will ensure that you create a stimulus that shows your body that you need to change, and this is how we'll build the muscle that will then become the foundation of your toned physique as you begin to strip the body fat away. Lastly, as we discussed earlier in this video, you need to have a calorie and a macro goal that will be focused around putting you into a calorie deficit and giving you enough protein to recover and grow from your workouts. Whilst your food choices are of course important and will impact your long-term progress, if we specifically want to focus on getting rid of that stubborn belly fat, we need to make sure that we are being accurate with our consumption. Once you've got your macro goals in place, I want you to start tracking all of your calories using MyFitnessPal or a similar app. This will be massively beneficial for a couple of reasons. One being that it will help you create a high level of awareness around how different food choices are impacting you from a calorie perspective. And the second is it will also help you create awareness but around your macronutrient intake as well. The really important thing here is to ensure that this is something you do across the entire week, as it's so common for me to see people who do eat well Monday to Friday, but allow themselves to go entirely off the rails by the time the weekend comes around. And if you want to see your abs for the first time, that approach is just not going to work. I promised at the start of this video to share with you the top tactics that my clients are using to stay in incredible shape once they've achieved their fat loss goal and avoid being stuck in a cycle where they just put the weight back on. So much of your success after hitting your goal will come down to ensuring that you took the right approach to get there in the first place. If you use unsustainable means to get in shape, then you're going to find yourself in a tricky position once you've hit your goal, because you've got nowhere to go but back to where you started, which was what caused the issues in the first place. So that's the first major thing you need to consider. Beyond that, once you've hit your goal, you then want to start to reverse out. Our target isn't to be in a calorie deficit forever, and if you can transition your calories to a maintenance level, this will allow you to sustain the level of body fat that you've now got and be ready to work towards your next big goal. The good news is that maintenance calories will feel like a significant jump up in food from where you have been, and this will be much easier to stick with long term. If you found this video helpful, be sure to hit like and subscribe, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next one.